Hey everybody, good morning. It's Pete. Welcome to a Wednesday edition, September 23rd, 2020 of today's best stock picks. Pretty good turnaround in the market yesterday. I want to see a little bit of validation today. We had a lot of call outs in the boot camp yesterday, what we might consider day trading conviction or lower on the conviction level because there wasn't any bullish order flow, which would be kind of obvious with the beating that the market has taken over the last 2 weeks. So I just want to start out today's video making sure that you have the distinction between a great trade and a stock that's going up today for the first time. Some of these stocks, especially, we could use Lulu as an example, where it punched through to new levels, where it broke support after getting clobbered after earnings for about 10 days, and then had a little bit of a reversal. And even DocuSign, which got beat up for a while, went down to support at 190, and then had this vicious move off of 190. That was a one-day move. You can't ignore 6 weeks of selling and have one day and say it's a great idea. And the biggest thing I want to get across to everybody is you will consistently make money on great ideas. And if you happen to put on some of these trades where it's just a one-day explosion, there's nothing wrong with that. But you need to mentally train yourself to admit it's a one-day commitment by the smart money. It's 1 day of buying, and it's a hell of a day if it's a 15-day rally, a $15 rally like DocuSign was, but it's still only 1 day. And it's great. If you made money, awesome, absolutely awesome. But you need to get into the mindset of what's a great trade versus what's going on right now. You can take those trades, but the trade needs to be worked. We call it working the trade in the boot camp, where you're not going in with your full size. You're not going in with your full commitment. You're working the order. You're starting out with a piece of the order because it's only 1 day after weeks of selling. So you got to make that distinction, and that's really what separates massively consistent traders from somebody who makes money once in a while, because if you go into those trades where there's only a 1 day commitment, regardless of how big that commitment is, if you go into those trades with full size, if and when those trades don't work out, you're going to get clobbered because there wasn't the wind behind your back. So again, nothing wrong with taking those trades. I want to make it very clear, but you need to make the distinction between, wow, this is awesome, from it was yesterday, it was great, I'm going to start to work this position if you want to hold it as a swing trade for a little bit longer. It's those 1 day commitments by the smart money versus the 4 or 5 week commitments by the smart money that make the distinction between the trades that are easy in the long run, easy that you put the trade on and it follows through, versus it just went up yesterday. That's only 1 day. It's still an idea. It's still a valid idea. You just need to manage the order properly. So what do we got today? We had OSTK. Looks like it finally came out of the woodshed yesterday. It's been beaten up. It kind of paused, held a little bit of an area that was accumulation. We're going to take a look at the chart in the boot camp. We actually initiated a swing trade yesterday in that stock, looking for some follow through today. So we've got an interesting setup. The futures are up today. We have roughly a dozen stocks we're going to look at. Some stocks pushing through to highs, some stocks just turning around and having those 1 day movements. We're going to take a look at those today as well. We're going to talk a little bit about Tesla, the 5 or 6 days of indecision, the big day where pretty much nothing happened. We're going to talk about Nike, and we're also going to talk about what I think could potentially be the stock of the day today, which is ROKU. So let's head on over to the charts and give you a little preview of what's coming up. I normally don't do that. We're going to start out with Pinterest. Actually, you know what? We're going to start out looking at the futures. We are now in the December contract for the E-mini S&Ps, and this is where we are. And today, we're actually rallying since 3 o'clock in the morning, which is a good sign for today's open. It's actually what we expected and really drilled into yesterday in the boot camp, where we discussed, here's the market internals, here's what we need to see, positive signs where the trend and the VIX were pointing in a certain direction. The ticks were giving us positive readings, confirming the rally in the market. We had a really good afternoon in the boot camp yesterday, probably one of the easier afternoons to trade in a market that has been a little bit indecisive. I'm not going to say hard to trade, because there's absolutely been money to trade, money to make. And we're actually going to talk about ROKU right now, where it's resting comfortably at new all-time highs. And today, a flat opening would just be amazing. Now, because it's at these levels, we just want to let the market open. We're not going to jump in as soon as the market rings. And if it's a swing trade, you got to work this order as well, because the stock did just travel almost $25 in the last 2 days, with a monster day 2 days ago here of, I believe it was 20 something, if I'm not mistaken. So we're looking to be long Roku today. We're looking to initiate a swing trade with smaller shares. It should be an aggressive day trade for us today, as long as it meets our day trading criteria, which, you know, if you're in the boot camp, exactly what that is. We have our price levels. Tesla is an interesting one. Now you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of melted candles in a row. Melted candle, small body, which means indecision. And yesterday was an inside candlestick, and it's trading lower pre-market with the futures trading higher. So it's actually showing relative weakness to the market. So again, I kind of joke around that there's Tesla cheerleaders. You have to pull your emotion out of this and trade like a champ. You have to trade like a pro. It's the hashtag that we talk about every day in our community. Trade like a pro puts you in the mindset that you're just trading the probabilities. You're not trading to cheerlead whether you win, cheerleading the stock. You're not. That's not what professionals do. Professionals see what's going on, make adjustments, make trades, put the trade on, go to the next one, put the trade on, go to the next one. You know what? At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, when the market's done, then we can high five each other and say, job well done today. But you don't do it while it's happening. You act like a pro if you want to pull money out of the market on a regular basis. Another one is Nike. Nike had some good numbers yesterday. It's up 13%. And again, this is not shocking in stocks that are trading at or near their all-time highs. They're there for a reason. There's a constant bid under the market. So we're actually going to open up well through this here. You can see we're actually at 132, which takes it off the charts, literally. So we're going to be looking for a new trade in Nike. And we actually were trading this pretty actively yesterday. It was one of the more consistent follow-throughs from the start of the day yesterday. In addition to that, Mike Samid actually called out Twitter yesterday. It was one of the ones, I actually missed this yesterday. Really good job, Mike, calling this one out. The most exciting part, if you're a regular subscriber to the channel, if you're in the boot camp, yesterday, heading into yesterday, this was one of our, if not our absolute favorite setup on the daily charts. We're constantly asked about how do I enter a new swing trade with the lowest risk and the highest probability. The candlestick heading into yesterday gave you the answer. The setup on the daily candlesticks gave you the answer. It led to one of the cleanest trends of the day yesterday, holding that trade, looking for some follow through. Getting back to OSTK, you can actually see here what we were looking at OSTK. I was actually expecting it to open higher today, much more higher than it is right now. Still bullish, still have that $78, $79 level. I am looking for 95 as the price target. 95 is the initial price target. So initiating a new swing trade there. Something on the other side of the market, and this is a really interesting trade because we took this breakout long here once and it failed. So I didn't do it again. I was very super duper clear yesterday, especially in our pre-market game plan meeting. I said, I'm waiting for the stock to go well bid. I wanted to prove to me it could stay above this level. If it does, then I'll be looking to initiate a new swing trade, which would have been today. Heading into today, it's now 3 hours before the market opens. That would have been my signal. It proved to me, but now today is when I would enter. I'm not looking to jump the gun, especially because it had earnings yesterday, and you can see the stock is down 13.64%. So what's the trade here? Well, most of the stocks that have failed on their earnings guidance or disappointed on their earnings guidance have had vicious moves in the opposite direction. So I might actually be looking to sell short this stock if it trades below the opening price and stays there. And we could possibly get a short sale for the next couple of days. So 2 points there. Number one, I'm looking at it as a short sale because of disappointing earnings guidance. Number two is I am not long this stock for the very same reasons I just gave you. It kept failing, and I talk about this. It's failing. I'm not going to get involved in this nonsense. Wake me up when it trades well bid, closes above there. Then the next day, I'll look to initiate a new trade. So this is a loss avoided by having strict criteria. Can't stress that enough. YNDX, one of those trades that yesterday was awesome. We're looking for follow through today, and it looks like we're getting it. Pinterest, we actually discussed. I don't trade Pinterest. I don't trade it because this is what it does most of the time. It goes into these $2 trading ranges for over a month. But yeah, it's interesting. If I was trading it, it'd be more of a longer term position trade. If you like something that you don't really have to watch that much and it's in bullish price action, this would be the stock to look to initiate a new swing trade here. It needs to stay above 36, 37 to keep that trade on. NVTA, another stock that's been called out consistently. Yesterday was the first day of a new swing trade, and you can see why. It had a momentum push higher, paused for 4 days. Now it's well bid on the daily charts. If you're not long already, above yesterday's high is the entry price. Zoom, what are we going to say about Zoom? Oop, how about we type it in correctly first, right? Zoom punching through to all-time highs. So now the question is Zoom a buy today? This is one of those scenarios where it's absolutely a buy today. It is not a new swing trade buy today. A higher opening today and giving us those lines in the sand, the tape reading levels that we watch in the boot camp, will allow us to day trade this stock comfortably, but I am not getting long this stock that has now just rallied $120 in 4 days. Now, again, it's very common knowledge that a stock is never too high to buy. I'm not talking about investing in the stock. I'm talking about where do I think the stock's going to be over the next 3 to 5 days. I'll absolutely be looking for stocks to buy it today. I'm not looking to initiate a new swing trade. I want to see it pull back a little bit. And we talked about that same thing in DraftKings, where we said, I'm not looking to get involved after this. I want to see it pausing, and now it's actually well bid again, and I'd be looking, it's now paused for 2 days, which is what I was looking to see. It pulled back, bids came right back in, and now I'm looking to initiate a new trade today. Now, we were asked about this yesterday. I don't have a profit target because I'm not in it yet. The profit target would essentially be around $10 from yesterday's high. Lennar and Toll Brothers, so we're going to talk about both of them. Toll Brothers already kind of peeked through. Lennar is sitting right at that level. We're looking at a breakout today above this level. You can see how clear it is. And this is the same setup that we had in SFIX that I did not take. I want to see it get through here. This is a little bit different where it's not punching through and failing, punching through and failing. This one is actually respecting the level, and if it goes well bid today, I'm going to be initiating the first piece of a swing trade above $80 with the intention of adding to the swing trade after it moves a certain amount in my favor. So again, first time looking to punch through that level, so good relative strength in the market here. The last one I want to discuss today is BYND. This stock has been very active lately and tradable in a way that it hasn't been in a while. I'll just give you an idea on the intraday charts. Look at that. Look at this pullback. I know a lot of people watching this video don't day trade, but I want to get across the point that the stock has been pretty active. I will say, though, 160 is a level that it's struggling with. So for me personally right now, I'm day trading it up to 160. I would consider starting to swing trade it over 160. So we got some of the big market leaders that popped a little bit yesterday. Microsoft actually came out of an inside candlestick breakout. Apple is just kind of still not there yet. I like the stock long. Clearly, it's the best company, if not one of the best companies in the world. But that's an investment theory. That's an investment thesis. That's an investment idea. As far as the trade is concerned, it just hasn't proven to me yet. Apple's back. Let's start buying this thing on every dip. It's not there yet. Not there yet. When it is, I'll make sure we talk about it. If you have any comments, you get some results from these videos, absolutely leave it below the video. I'd love to hear from you. And definitely subscribe to the channel. If you want to trade together and get my exact entry and exit signals during the day, click down and learn about the bootcamp. I'd love to see you on the other side too. Have a great day, everybody.